Hey y'all, welcome to the country where it's just another day in paradise. Let's see what's going on. Hey y'all, it's Susan with Susan's Country Living. Welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, I do a lot of things that deal with living in the country, like having a garden, and it is the end of June, and my garden is going like gangbusters. Usually by now, here in the southern part of Texas, our gardens are starting to burn up, but I put down this black fabric woven weed block and soaker hoses, and I have watered, and just pumping the water to it has really given me a lot of fresh vegetables. Picking a lot of cucumbers, of course, making different kinds of pickles. This is a long green. This is from Baker Seeds. This is an excellent zucchini. This is going to have, see how big it is. It's going to have very little seeds in it. Great for sauteing, breading, and frying. I've grated it and frozen for zucchini bread. Of course, getting lots of peppers right now. So some bell peppers and these those snacking peppers that you get in the grocery store that are orange and red and yellow. I have orange ones. They are delicious. And of course, we're getting lots and lots of tomatoes. And if you've never planted Juliet, it is a Roma type, but it is it's small, like a little bigger than a grape tomato. And I pop them in the freezer, slip the skins off when I thaw them, and able to can those up really quick. I'll be doing that here later in the week, even picking some cantaloupe. And of course, lots of eggplant. I planted two varieties. Said it was a black beauty. This is about as big as they're getting right now. Maybe they'll get a little bigger later on. And these Asian eggplants. These have more seeds in them. And these are better for stir frying, very few seeds. But today, I'm going to be making a marinated eggplant. This is something new. There is a little Italian grandma that I follow on YouTube, and I am trying out her recipe. I'll post the link in the descriptions to her YouTube page, and she's just wonderful to listen to, and you know, everything's from scratch, and you know, Shirley doesn't measure. You know, she's one of those kinds of cooks where, you know, little of this and a little of that. Oh, if you like it, you add it. You don't, you know. So what I've done this morning already is I have peeled my eggplant and used a vegetable peeler. Works really great. Then, of course, I cut the top part off and, you know, sliced it about, half an inch thick. And I have cut them into these sticks here. Okay? And I have them in a bowl, and they're just different. They don't have to be anything perfect. This is the size I wanted to do. I'm going to be packaging or jarring mine up in some half pints, because I'm going to do them in small jars so that I can give them out to friends and have them try them. So what I did, as I have peeled and cut these, and sliced them up, I have them in a bowl. I have a colander here, and then I just took a bowl and turned it upside down, and I already have, you can see all that liquid in there. With eggplant, not so much the Asian eggplant, but the Italian eggplant, there's a lot of bitterness in the eggplant, and you will want to salt it to get those bitter juices out. And as I filled my colander, I used Redmond real salt. Found out about this on YouTube from some homesteaders. It kind of has it's like a pink salt in a way. It's got a lot of minerals in it, and it's mined, I believe, in Utah. So it is, there's no iodine added to it. There's nothing added. It just comes out of the ground like that. So as I added my eggplant, I just take and I toss it here. And it is already, those juices are coming out, and that is what you want. Now, what she said to do was to get a plate. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, so what I'm doing is I have this plate, and I'll put it on top of the eggplant. And I want to put something heavy, so I have a gallon of vinegar. You can use, a gallon of water, anything, just to put pressing down on your eggplant. And the bitter juices are going to come right out of that, which is what we want. So this is going to go for 5 hours. The recipe said that you could let it sit overnight if you'd like to. I may end up putting mine in the refrigerator when it's totally finished. I'll squeeze all the juices out, and if I need to start it tomorrow, I'll start it tomorrow. Okay, so it's been about 5 hours, and my eggplant has all of the juices squeezed out of it. You can even take it some more here, and you can squeeze it and get, if it a lot didn't come out, and squeeze even more. And so I kind of did that, and there's not much liquid coming out. And let me show you. I've already thrown away about that much liquid already. So you can see all that bitter liquid that has come out of our eggplant. So what we're going to be doing next is cooking our eggplant for about a minute. I have some vinegar and water boiling. So every 1 cup of vinegar, you put 2 cups of water, and you bring it to a boil. And mine is boiling, so I'm ready to put in my eggplant. I'm going to kind of do this in batches. Boil it for 1 minute. Take it out, put it in my bowl, and continue to add it. Spider here. So I can just do that. And it looks like maybe one full spider here. What I did is I used 2 cups of vinegar, and there's 4 cups of water in here. For the amount that I have will be enough. Put that in there. Put the lid on. Start my timer for 1 minute. Meantime, some things you're going to need is some garlic. I'm going to use about 5 cloves, and I'm going to slice these very thin. You're going to need some pepper, some salt, but I'm not going to salt it till I taste it. Some dried oregano, and a good quality extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to use this organic Bragg variety. It's unrefined. It's supposed to be really, really good. And it is up. Take it out of here. Just going to put it in this big bowl here. A lot of the seeds came out. I did cut a lot of those that had a whole lot of seeds, but you're still going to get seeds in there. That's okay. Sterilize some jars. I just put them in my little toaster oven at about 300 for 10, 15, 20 minutes. We're not going to water bath process or pressure can these. They're not going to be sealed. They're going to have to be stored in the refrigerator. But I do want to have a nice clean jar for these. All right, there's our minute. And I'm ready to take these out. All right, so I'm just going to let these cool off here in this bowl, put them underneath the fan to speed that up, and we'll continue the process making marinated eggplants. Okay, my eggplant is cooled off, and what I need to do now is squeeze again to get the vinegar and the water out. So I'm just going to squeeze here above this pot, and then I'll put it in a bowl. All right, so now I'm ready to do some seasoning here. So let me get what we need. Display that just in case I need that. So I do have some, of course, my extra virgin olive oil, whole oregano leaves that have been crushed. I have some salt, should I need it, some crushed red pepper flakes. So we're just going to start with, I'm just going to kind of sprinkle some, and garlic. I'm just going to sprinkle some oregano. I guess, if you wanted to use Italian seasoning, you could. I'm going to take some sliced up garlic, some black pepper, and I'm just going to put just a little bit of red pepper flakes in here. And I'm going to give that a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to give that a toss, and then just keep adding some seasoning. More oregano, more ground black pepper, and some more garlic, just sliced thin, and a little bit of olive oil. Now, the lady in the video, she did this on a cookie sheet. She put everything out to cool it, and as she was doing her seasoning, she did it on the cookie sheet. But I'm just going to use this bowl because I don't have as much eggplant, I don't think, as she did. Okay. I'm starting to smell the oregano and the garlic and the olive oil. All right. Okay, I'm going to give it a little taste to see if I need to add any salt, because we did salt it, but when you put it in the vinegar and water to cook it, a lot of that salt gets washed away. Just a little bit of salt, it's really good. I use Redmond real salt, like I said before. And we're just going to get... All right. Okay. So, add just a little more salt. A little more olive oil. All right, now we're ready to jar this up. And as you jar it, you want to press it down and to get as much as we can in a jar. Close up my. You can use a spoon if you have one of these tampers for doing ferments. You could use something like that, and then. After we add our eggplant to the jar, then I'm going to top it off with olive oil. Want to make sure there's no air, down in there like you would normally. Wipe the rims off and seal it up to go in the refrigerator. So I'm just going to put these in here like this, and we're going to get these filled like this. And I'm going to use my tamper. Use the small end here. And just give it a press like that. Oh, garlic came flowing out. All right. Put a little more in there. This is looking really, really good. And probably going to fill them about that full, maybe a little bit more. There. And I'm going to take some of my olive oil and just top that off just like that. And after I get them all done, I'll wipe my rims and just put the lids on them and put them in the refrigerator. So I'm going to see how many this is going to do. So I've got this all jarred up. I ended up with 4 half pints. I took a paper towel and wet it with some just white vinegar and went around the rims just to get the oil off so it would get a good seal. Even though these are going in the refrigerator, they cannot go on the shelf. If you have a basement, you live in an area where the basement stays cool, they could go into a basement or a cellar or something like that, but not here where I live. And so I'm going to stick these in the refrigerator. I had a half jar there, so I'm going to let them set for about 2 weeks. I'll test and see what the flavor's like. If not, I'll leave it a little bit longer. So I'll leave all the information in the description box so you can check out the little lady that I got this recipe from. And she's got some really great recipes if you love Italian food. So I hope you have a good gardening, canning season. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button so that you can watch some other of my videos and keep in touch and be there when I post something new. So hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.